Okay, nagbabalik po ang Republika. Kausap po natin si Herman Basbanyo, siya pong presidente ng KBP, Kapisanan ng mga Broadcasters ng Pilipinas. The KBP is right in the middle of a national election. You know, people are looking at the rates, especially in the rates. Some people are saying na siguro pagdating ng eleksyon, is there a way na yung matulungan natin yung demokrasya natin such that the rates do not go up? Pwede ba yun? Or can we isolate only government stations to undertake a charity rate for politicians? Or a pauper's fee, so to speak?
Well, the responsibility does not belong only to the government station, but also to everybody. No? Kami sa KBP, you know, that we're really concerned of the effects of, you know, coming up with moves that will not be good for the public. For example, that opportunity for the candidates to be heard. No?
Yes,
if the rates are really high, some of them, and many of them, may not be able to afford. But you know, it's covered already by rules of the Commission on Elections and by the law. Merong hindi makakaya talaga. But there is this COMELEC time that we offer to them. Networks.
But Herman, before we go into that, I'm talking about the costings itself muna. Wag muna yung panahon. Kasi I notice every time come election, tumataas ang ratings. I'm talking about the cost. Like for example, 350,000 per 30 seconder sa mga TV stations.
Yes.
It becomes very prohibitive.
Yeah, prohibitive.
Not only for candidates, but the end result is kawawa yung mga tao natin kasi they do not get to know their candidates kung ganito ang mga presyo ng ano eh.
Yes. The COMELEC time that I was saying is for free. And they should know how to exploit that for their candidacies. No, not the rates.
But do we see the COMELEC time? Is it being used sa TV?
Yun nga, I was telling the Commission on Elections nga, si Chairman Brillantes, that you should avail of this. Let the candidates avail of this because this is for free. As to the allocation of time slot, kung saang oras, we can discuss that with the networks.
Pwede namang ano yan eh, yung Tambiolo.
Tambiolo.
Diba? Kung
sinong gusto mag-avail, then we can draw whoever would like to, you know, make use of this airtime.
They should come up with a pauper's candidate or something. Candidates or paupers can apply for this.
Ang reklamo nila kasi sabi nila yung slot may not be acceptable to them dahil nasabi hindi ginagamit ang binibigay na time slot non-prime. But sabi ko that can be discussed, no? What you may perceive to be non-prime is prime slot after all, no? But anyway, going back to your question whether, you know, we can do something about the rates, no? As I said, these rates are regulated by law. It's 20% less of the rate 3 quarters ago for
which
the network.
Means for in layman's terms for everybody,
mas mababa siya 3 quarters ago ng rate, tapos 20% discount pa of that. Not only that, it
so
does
hindi 350,000 per 30 seconder kaya?
It does not stop there, Eric. No? You still can go and negotiate. You know, the rates that are being used is not only 20% below the rate that I was mentioning 3 quarters ago. It's 40, 50, 60, 70. It depends on, you know, your negotiating skill if you are a candidate. If you are the one in charge of, you know, buying airtime for your candidate, you negotiate. Pwede naman ganyan eh.
At depende rin sa network kung gusto ibigay sa yung oras na yon.
Of course, no, it will be an agreement between two parties, no? The network and then the buyer.
Pero the standard right now in the industry is 350,000 per 30 seconder, di ba?
Well, I don't know if others would see it this way, no? Because they have their basis also. I've heard of TV stations, no?
Yes.
You spend 300,000, for example, for one network. And you spend, for example, in another network just 35,000.
Pero ilan ang nakakita?
But the computation there is not only the amount, it's not only the peso side.
You're talking about ilan ang nakakakita.
You have to consider the listenership. If you have 350,000 and then there's 9 million listeners or viewers, as against 35,000 with only 10, 100, don't you think that it is much cheaper? Much cheaper, no?
Would you agree that legislation is very important here? They can step in and say, okay, if you lessen your, I'm just looking at it from a perspective of altruism, no, political altruism for democracy, to strengthen our democratic process. Tax deductible yung mga ano, pag binabaan yung presyo. What do you think of that?
Well, can be that.
Pwede, no?
Pwedeng bigyan ng anong incentive dyan. But actually, sabi ko, mababa niyan eh. Now, if you don't want to go there...
Sa radyo, how is it naman?
Much cheaper.
Okay.
But also, effective or even more effective because there are areas still that do not have television.
Correct,
Diba?
correct.
In the mountains, in the far-flung barangays, they have only radio.
Oo.
So you buy only for how much? 2,000, 1,000, 500 pesos?
Oo.
This is a democracy. If you have money and you want to go to television, then you go to television. But
But-
when you go to television, you just negotiate to get a much cheaper. If you don't want to go to TV, you go to radio. Then buy for 500 per spot, 300, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. You have the choice.
Or you can go to Radio Bombo and the entire network of Radio Bombo will carry your advertisement.
Yes,
Pwede yun, di ba?
yes. So
Oo,
we are
tama.
into 30. We have 31 stations, and
All
then
over
you
the
just
Philippines.
get one by. Then you'll heard or
All over.
listen to all over the country. No.
What do you think of this regulation now between the COMELEC and the Supreme Court? You're only entitled to 180 minutes, 120 minutes.
Well, we oppose that ruling of the Commission on Elections. The 180 minutes for radio for one per candidate, no? On a per candidate basis.
Okay.
120 for television nationwide, no?
Oo.
60, 90 for the local because it's not really for the money.
Oo.
Of course, I would say that business is part of our existence, no?
Oo.
But we're also into public service,
course.
without the election, Eric.
Of course, of course.
What organization carry the cadres for the public?
Of course, of course.
It's the media.
Oo.
We are exposed into harassments, threats, etc. So even without elections, we are into that. We're doing that. We're serving the public.
Besides, the primary calling is public service.
Public service.
Public service
And
na
when
talaga
we
eh.
say, when we
Oo.
told the Commission on Elections at the Supreme Court that we're doing this for the public because of this reason. One, it is the right already of people that are being affected by the ruling. A right and access to information.
Ilagay lang natin yung particular article so that ma-discuss ni Herman Basbanyo, especially yung this is the point that I think the public should be able to read. Wika nga sa Tagalog para manamnam nila yung dinidiscuss natin, yung constitutional provision na binabanggit natin, because I noticed this is not being discussed in any of the major networks, unfortunately. Hindi naman sa pagmamayabang, pero mukhang hindi yata ito natututukan, no? Ito yung unang-una, no? Article 2, State Policy Section 24. The vital role of communication and information in nation building yan. So, hindi natutupad ito.
Well, we're trying na matupad yan. No? We're doing also, as I said, the human job to perform that function of us. No? But we are sometimes limited. Like, for example, ito, we are given this limitation sana by the Commission on Elections until na dumating yung TRO, no? That will not be able to air whatever would like on the platforms and qualifications of
So
candidates.
ngayon, that is still subsisting.
But there is the TRO that was issued by the Supreme Court, and their limitation is not on an aggregate basis anymore, but on a per station, meaning the 120, 180 is applied on a per station basis now, which is
So
of course, better.
lumaki na.
Lumaki na. The issue here, Eric, that the reason that we're really fighting for this is that isa pa, aside from access to information, freedom of speech, is the freedom of choice by people and by the candidates themselves. Imagine, if you place in one station in Manila, with that old ruling by the Commission on Elections, if you consume the 180 in Manila, you will not be able to be heard anymore in other provinces. You cannot place anymore in other areas because you have consumed, no? And you have to understand the structure in our country that iba-ibang regions, iba-ibang station yan. In Iloilo, you have your own set of stations. You have your own set of facilities, manpower, and you use the dialect. In Cebu, you do the same.
Correct.
You go to Baguio, you have your own set of different stations.
So linawin lang natin, Herman, no? Originally, under the COMELEC, I don't know why they came out with this, it's comprehensively adverse to freedom and democracy as far as I'm concerned. Originally, yung 180 at 120 na yun, basta collective yun.
Collective.
All over the Philippines.
All over the Philippines.
Okay. Magbayad ka ng 30 second there, minus ka agad yun. Okay. Mag-guest ka sa isang TV station, radio station, minus ka agad yun. Okay. Bakit naging... Now, tama ba na kung ang media ang mag-imbita sa isang kandidato, ay imaminusan ang kandidato sa oras niya? Hindi ba dapat yung binayaran lang niya?
Supposedly, ganun yung kaso. Although later, we talked it out with the Commission on Elections. They made also clear to us na sabi na kung balita, pwede naman, provided you primero get our approval.
Oh, prior restraint.
Prior restraint.
Oh.
Later, we oppose it, no? And they said, okay, just notify us. Sabi namin, even just the notification
Yes.
will not be good because there's not parang sort of Damocles or
Yes.
a chilling effect on us.
Yes. Article 2, yung next article lang, ipakita lang natin para lang ma-inform yung ating publiko tungkol po sa mga karapatan natin, lalo po patungkol dito sa ating eleksyon. Kasi parang lumalabas, am I correct, Herman, that hindi ba dapat na pag ang media ang nag-imbita sa isang politiko, sa isang kandidato, hindi dapat madidak yan sa oras niya? Dahil it is at the initiative, at the invitation of the media outlet to invite this candidate. Precisely for public service, for nation building, as the previous constitutional provision I mentioned. For example, ito, Bill of Rights, Section 4, freedom of speech, expression, press, yung press po kasama sa media dyan. Hindi ba nasasaklawan na yung, o nasisikil na yung freedom of speech, expression, and media dito dahil dito sa reglamento na ito na
Ganun yung nangyari. Overregulation actually, yung tawag namin dyan. No? We understand the intent that there should be reform, there should be ganun. Yeah, we go for that. But not at the expense of our rights and our freedom.
Oo. Ang intent ba ng COMELEC dito playing field daw?
Level the playing field.
Level the playing field
That is what
daw.
they're saying.
Oo.
And precisely we'd like it, we oppose it because also we'd like to have a level playing field.
Oo.
You know why? If you have that ruling of the Commission on Elections, it will only be favorable to those who are already popular,
Correct.
those who are incumbent, those who are movie actors, those who are announcers even, coming from radio stations. So what is the level playing field that they're talking about?
And would you agree that this ruling is detrimental to an informed choice of our public?
Yes, you are right.
Which is the more important
Yes.
aspect of the entire process why we are here.
Yes, yes,
Hindi ba?
yes.
Bakit hindi nila nakita ito?
Well, you have
Because of
to
good
ask,
intention?
have to ask them actually
good intention?
also, no,
Huh?
of the reason behind. They have justified that. No, we respect also the position. We respect their reasoning about it. No, but also we also were asking them to respect also our position. And now that there is the TRO, that has also to be respected, coming from the Supreme Court. No? Because if you have noticed, the chairman of the Commission on Elections was saying na, it's not yet final. You don't have to follow it yet.
So ngayon, every candidate has 180 minutes per radio,
Per station.
per station on a particular station.
Yes.
Okay.
That is what I understand. No?
So pwede niyang ubusin yun ng 180 minutes sa isang radio station.
Yes.
So at least yan ang limitation niya. Sa TV station, for a
120.
particular TV station, may 120
Yes.
minutes
Yes.
naman siya.
Oo.
So that's like 2 hours.
Yes.
At most 2 hours.
Oh. But reality, Eric, could tell us na hindi nangyayari yung ganong
But
worry nila.
Herman, I have a question for you. A particular senatorial candidate comes out in ABS-CBN Manila. And then he is in, for example, there is a local debate in a particular city in our, in the Philippines. Another 60 minutes. Tapos na yung ano niya.
Ganon yung mangyari kung yung unang ruling.
This is precisely what I'm saying. This is a limitation. This is a limitation on the debate, illumination,
Yes, yes.
on our people understanding the issues and
Yes.
recognizing and para makilala nila yung mga kandidato natin, di ba?
Yes. Precisely. That is what we're telling
So mali
them.
pa rin itong bagong regulasyon na tinanggap ng
Per station?
itong per station basis.
Oh, but that's better, of course, than the first ruling. There is also a limitation, no?
Pero consolation, parang,
No, parang
parang consolation ito. Pero mali pa din eh.
why limit and why take that action? No, that will also have a negative effect on the rights and freedom of people.
Hindi ba dapat sa isang demokrasya, kasi you are in media, you understand this, the error should be towards more light rather than less.
Yes, you're right.
Hindi ba? So,
But then there definitely will be just a natural course of corrective measures pagka ganyan, no? At sabi ko sa reality naman walang naglagay o bumibili sa lahat ng istasyon.
Oo.
Wala, hindi nangyari yun.
Oo.
Walang nangyari. So that worry, that apprehension by the Commission